Hey guys, today I'll be talking about link building. Link building is a juicy topic among the SEO community, in Facebook groups, in YouTube videos, in forums. There's a lot of content around link building, right? And the reason why this is it actually starts to move the needle for some of the keywords that have been stuck in the same position for quite some time. It actually helps that progress flow, right, in terms of SEO, and it should be a predominant part of your SEO strategy, especially if the keyword is quite competitive, right? So link building, it's an important part of your SEO strategy, right? But it shouldn't be your main marketing priority as a whole, right? The way I like to look at this is if we talk about a marketing strategy as a whole, if we talk about a marketing strategy as a whole, a marketing strategy as a whole like this, part of the marketing strategy is SEO, right? And you'd agree with me, SEO is a part of marketing, right? So here is your SEO and here is your marketing strategy as a whole, or your marketing campaign. Link building should be part of your SEO strategy, but it shouldn't be your main priority in terms of a marketing strategy as a whole. What your main priority should be is providing as much value to your client's customer as possible. Because at the end of the day, when that customer lands on that website, they think, they don't think how many links are going towards this website. They think, is this better than the competitor? Does it have positive reviews? Does it have useful information on the site? Is it better, is it an authority in the local marketplace? Is it the market leader? And that's why I'm going to go with this customer. They don't think about how many links are going to the site. The reason why we do link building is to solely gain rankings and move the needle in our keywords and to possibly get some traffic. So that's the thing you want to think about when conducting link building. You just want to make sure that that kind of sticks in your head so you don't solely focus on link building, right? It's solely for SEO purposes and to get those rankings higher and possibly get some traffic. There you go, guys. To start off with, I want to say, the first part of doing a, link building campaign is doing a market analysis, right? So what that consists of is, taking a client, right, and taking them through the kind of onboarding or, the onboarding or the kickoff meeting where you give them a form and it states, their competitors, their contact information, their company goals. But one of the key areas that it states is what keywords would you like to rank for? And as much as we want SEO to be a one-size-fits-all, a lot of these agencies do and have packages for each, which is great. But as much as we want it to be a one-size-fits-all, it's not, right? With keywords, certain keywords are more competitive than others, right? And let's say this client comes back to me and they say, right, I want to rank for plumber Los Angeles, right? Say if that client came back to me with plumber in Los Angeles, and then another client came back to me and said they want to rank for plumber Maryland, right? So do you see my kind of, if we typed in plumber in Los Angeles into Ahrefs, as you can see here, we've got 300 and a cost per click of $50 and a keyword difficulty of 29. But if we typed in plumber Maryland, right, it's got a cost per click of $35 and a keyword difficulty of 18. So it's slightly, the dynamic is slightly different, right, based on the keyword and the competitor and your client's goals and what keywords they want to rank for. So this is what I usually think about when conducting link building. I say, right, we want to find out, how difficult the keyword is. We want to find out what the kind of budget for link building is going to be. So when we charge the customer, we know, right, we're going to set this aside for link building. And the two metrics that we read when doing a market analysis is cost per click, right? Cost per click, which is how much it costs to do an ad campaign, or keyword difficulty, which is based on the links going to the top pages, right? So as you can see here, the keyword difficulty, if we go plumber Los Angeles, right? Oh. So for example, it says we estimate you'll need 35 websites, backlinks from 35 websites to rank in the top 10 for this keyword. This isn't entirely accurate, but it gives you a rough idea of how difficult it's going to be. So again, you can also look at cost per click as well, because sometimes, again, keyword difficulty isn't entirely accurate. That goes for the same as cost per click as well, but you get kind of like a rough average idea of how hard it's going to be to rank for this keyword, right? So we look at cost per click and the keyword difficulty. I just take this out. And then you know you've done well, you've conducted your market analysis and you know how difficult it's going to be to rank for that keyword. And then you want to do a competitor analysis. So say the clients paid for our services, we've got them on board, and we've got a link building budget based on the market analysis. We can now go ahead and start building links, right? So we do a competitor analysis, we scroll down and we look at who is ranking for this specific keyword, right? So as you can see here, we've got, Mike Diamond Services, we've got some directories here, we've got Universal Plumbers, we've got this plumbing company here, we've got Home Advisor, we've got Ritz Plumbing. Say for example, we go for Ritz Plumbing and we look at, we can look at the metrics and we can kind of get a rough idea of, what links are going to the site, what backlinks, what the traffic estimate is, what domains, what keywords they're ranking for. But today we'll be looking at the backlinks. So we go into backlinks, right? And then what we do is the two things that we want to look at is authority and relevance, right? So we just go back to the whiteboard and I just note that down. So we go authority and relevance. So what that means is authority is classed, well, we like to look at, when we look at authority, we look at domain rating and relevance, right? Relevance. And what I mean by domain rating is this kind of metric here. So you can actually filter in Ahrefs by the domain rating. So I just note that down to DR. And then usually relevance, you can just look manually at the site. Look at website. Does it match? Niche. So the two things you want to look at is domain rating. So we go in and we filter by domain rating. We also look at do follow links as well, because that means that it's passing that link juice over. So no follow links don't really have much of an influence really, except from what I'm going to talk about later on, but except from press releases and citations and things, they do have a bit of an influence on the rankings in terms of building trust and things of that nature, but I'm going to talk about that later. So what we want to do is do follow. We want to filter by do follow, and then we want to filter by domain rating. So we're starting off with, authority, right? So we go down and we look at, certain keywords, right? No, not keywords, backlinks, sorry. We go through and we say, right, okay, so here's a guest post, right? So how different local businesses need to quickly adjust to COVID-19. So here we go. Here's a backlink, right? This is a guest post, and they've got their local businesses in the LA area. Plumbers will run all over LA. So they've got LA in their anchor text and they've got plumber in their anchor text. This is helping their SEO. So when you do link building, you want to make sure the anchor text is has got your keywords, the keywords that you want to rank for in. So here's an example of a guest post, right? So the two things you want to look at when conducting link building, right? And we're going to go by like a monthly basis. So we say month one, right? Month one is building authority usually. And then month two, let's say for example, but this can be spread out over a couple of months usually, but this is how I would go about it. Say month two, right? And this is, say for example, this is a brand new site and we want to try and get it out of the Google sandbox, because what that means is when Google, when we publish a brand new site, we want to just we want to build that trust with Google and send sort of links to the site to actually get it out of that sandbox and start indexing in Google, right? So what I would do is I would do month one, and I would do citations, obviously for a local business, and I would do press releases, right? I'll talk about this in a minute, and then possibly in month two, I would build niche edits or guest posts, and niche edits, right? So the idea in month one is you're building trust and authority in the first month, and then in month two you're building authority and relevance, right? And trust, I guess you could say. So this is an example of this is a guest post, right? So this would be something you would really do in month two. So I would say a guest post, right? And then, so that's just there. So we would do a guest post. And the way you can actually, outreach to these companies and actually find out if we could publish an article on this site, just like our competitor has done, I would say, you take the URL. It's a little technique that you can do, and you can go, people per hour, as you can see down there, people per hour, and you just type in that. And as you can see here, it says post high authority blog on AZ Big Media, right? £80. So if you, going back to the link building budget, if you have a link building budget based on the market analysis that you did, and the client's paid for it and everything, you take your link building budget for that month and you say, right, we're going to invest in this. We're going to post a high authority blog on this company, right? And then you go back on here and you say marketbusinessnews.com, right? This is another company, so we say marketbusinessnews.com, people per hour. Guest post on marketbusinessnews.com, £120, right? So that will be part of our link building budget, right? So you want to kind of tick off all the boxes of the competitors' guest posts and see what they're on, so you can start matching them. And then once you've done that, what you want to do is you want to start bringing in that link diversity and start doing different links and doing more unique links compared to your competitors to start increasing those rankings and getting more traffic or whatever it is. So I would look at your competitors first and start reaching out to the posts that are there on, and then you want to go ahead and start building that link diversity and building different links and unique links to improve that link building strategy, right? So you do authority and relevance, and you get the guest posts. So obviously what you want to do is when you've got these guest posts and you reach out to these companies, the two things you want to keep in mind also is this business, is this business relevant to my niche, right? You want to ask yourself that question. Look at website, does it match the niche, right? So for example, Tiny House Blog, right? This is a plumbing company, so Tiny House Blog would be slightly relevant to our business, right? Because it's like home services businesses, around plumbing. As you can see here, keep your plumbing system simple. It's relevant to the business that you're in, the niche that you're in, the market that you're in, right? So for example, homes go fast, buying a property. Again, this is relevant to the niche you're in. It's about buying a property. It's about home services, about being in your house. Plumbing is relevant to the niche, right? If you could get like a company that's specifically around plumbing or how to do plumbing or how to change a pipe or whatever it is, that would be even better, right? But the closer you can get to your niche and the more relevant it is, the better, really. So for example, homesgofast.com, and we just do the same process that we were doing earlier, right? Homes go fast, guest post, right? Or people per hour. And as you can see, add a guest post on homesgofast.com and you've got £95. In addition to thinking about that relevance, obviously you want to be considering the domain rating as well. So as you can see here, you can filter by domain rating. You can see the number of domain rating right here. Fast is 65, and the way they judge this is based on how many backlinks are pointing to that specific domain. So what we've learned so far: building authority, building authority based on the domain rating, right? To build that authority and increase your domain rating. And then also building relevance, right? Because that's one of the most important things with building backlinks, is how relevant is that backlink to your niche and to your business, right? So that would be month 2. We do guest posts, and obviously niche edits is similar to guest posts. It's basically a guest post is already there, and you basically ask, for example, I would ask them to add a link already to this article. So it's just adding a link to an existing article, really. So that's the two things that I look at, and that's usually how I conduct link building. I usually start off with authority and then relevance. But you can do it this way. You can buy links like this, or you can purchase links on there's loads of suppliers, buy links, and there's loads of different suppliers to buy links as well. But this is one way you can do it to get that more targeted link building strategy. You can go through Ahrefs and look at what your competitors are doing, copy them, and then proceed to get more diverse links compared to your competitors, right? So, and then in month 1, right, to build that authority and trust with Google and get that Google sandbox, what you will need to do is citations, which are great for local SEO. And these citations have to have unique business descriptions, right? Unique business description, right? So the reason why I do this is so each link looks like a unique entity in Google's eyes, right? And they'll start indexing these links and they'll start becoming more powerful, right? Because I did a bunch of links, I did a bunch of citations one time, and half of the links didn't actually index. I didn't see them indexing in Ahrefs or Google or they weren't showing up in Ahrefs because each link had the same business description over and over again, right? So what you want to make sure is each business description has a unique business description, right? Because then it's not shown as duplicated content. And one of the services you can use is SEO Builder Pro or SEObuilder.com, I think. And you can get a service like this. And what they do is they do like a 75 mix of niche generic sites, and they spin the description and they send them to an indexing tool, right? Which is really important because at the end of the day, if you're building citations and they're not being indexed, it's a waste of money. So I'll leave a link in the description below for that if you want to check that out. So you do a unique business description, and then what you want to do is a press release, and this press release should be targeting your Google My Business, right? So you do a Google My Business, and then you do another one that's targeting your website as well. So you go website here, right? So the value of that, right, when you do a press release to the Google My Business, is known to help the rankings for the Google My Business, and then you do another press release to the website to build that trust with Google, right? And the two things you want to make sure when doing a press release, right, for a Google My Business is you want to add the maps, right? So we go, I'll give you an example. If we just go to a client's website, let's just go Florida TMS Clinic, take that, plug that in there. So you want to do a press release targeting your Google My Business because that will help the local map pack rankings. So you can go to, for example, if I show an example, we go first scene. Find. They aren't do follow links, right? But they do build that trust with Google before you start building do follow links and things of that nature. So as you can see here, we've got a bunch of press releases targeting. So here we go, Digital Journal, which is a really high quality link. And as you can see here, Florida TMS Clinic in Wesley Chapel. So we've got the location. You want to make sure your keywords are in the title because they will show up. For example, they will show up in Google. Oh no, like that. They'll show up in Google, for example, like this: TMS therapy, Tampa. They'll actually show up for your keywords. So it's important that you have like something like this in place. So if we TMS Tampa, so for example, just find our example, TMS therapy in Tampa, TMS therapy in Tampa. So they'll actually show up for those specific keywords, right? So it's important that you do that and you have it as the first kind of bit of text in the title, so it will show up on the left because we know the importance of having your your keywords on the left of the title tag because Google reads it first and people will see it first, right? So that's important. And then if we go back to, I'll just show you an example of what one looks like. So what you want to make sure, the ones that are targeting your Google My Business should have anchor text like keywords, right? TMS therapy, right? Or the location. And these should be linked to your, these should be linked to your map pack, right? As you can see here, you've got your map pack in here to increase that increase that map pack ranking, right? And then you also want to add the Google Map embed on the article as well, and then obviously have a naked URL here. So that is a couple of tips for doing a press release for your Google My Business. Have embed map, anchor text. I'll just move that over. So you want to do anchor text for the location, right? So the anchor text location. And then you want to do a press release targeting your website too. But this is slightly different to my site, and this actually can have a negative impact on your SEO. You can do it for Google My Businesses, and you can do anchor text for your Google My Business, right? As you can see here, TMS therapy, and it's linking to the Google My Business. But when it comes to doing a press release for your website, you want to do it slightly differently. For example, here we've got that was quite slow. So as you can see in this one, right, we've got anchor text. Oh wait, this is Google My Business. Just click on that one. There we go. So for example, right, this one, right, we've got TMS therapy and we've got our keywords in the title, but you don't want to do anchor text at all in the article. You just want to have a naked URL because I've noticed previously, and it's happened to me before, having anchor text in the article linking back to your website can actually have a negative impact on your keyword ranking. So you only want to do a naked URL like that, and you want to do an exact brand name. So I'm going to just type that in there, just make sure we've got that noted down. Exact brand name and naked URL, right? So I hope that helps, guys. I think that's everything. I hope these help you, with your link building strategies. If you haven't already joined my Facebook group, the Neat Crowd SEO and Digital Marketing, go and join that. You get some free resources in there. You get, a free SEO checklist. You can get a free site architecture template. You can get a free proposal template. There's all sorts in there. And if you haven't already got them already, just send me a message and I'll be happy to give it to you. So thank you very much, guys. Subscribe, like, and comment. And yeah, thank you very much. Cheers. Bye-bye.